Ouch, was that a ghost?
Was that a ghost? With Liss?
And Lee. Hi, Liz. How are you doing today?
A little bit hot in your room.
Why? I don't get it.
Because it's like 1,000 degrees in here.
Oh, but I can't think of what I'm trying to say. I'm so hot.
I'm going to have really nice skin after this, though. Hopefully.
I mean, once we figure out how to reduce the background noise, we could leave a window or two open.
Help.
Help me, I'm poor. Oh, I'm dying. All
Her
right.
name is Stove. Sorry.
There's an Indian woman on the wing. Wait, is that what she said? There's something they're not telling us. Those are some references from Bridesmaid. All right, so we're going to dive right into our segment.
Icebreakers.
Icebreakers. We're going to shake the hat. Shake, shake, shake. All right, which one today, Liz? You pick?
Gosh, I'm so excited.
Ooh, what did we get? What are we talking about?
We got air fryer versus frying.
Air fryer versus frying.
When I got an air fryer, Lee cracked on me for months saying, "Oh, you're an air fryer person now, huh? Oh, how is it living that air fryer life?" It really is amazing, though.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. And then I finally got one.
And
I'm an air fryer girl now. It's a whole different kind of world.
you can actually save French fries.
I've never made fries yet, but
You
I have made
haven't?
tots. I've put
Tots are
frozen
good.
tots. You know what I've been doing lately?
What?
Broccoli. So I get a frozen bag of broccoli, throw it in there, put some onion,
Yes.
garlic, salt, pepper, and I fry it for 15 minutes. Every 5 minutes, I mix it around.
Lemon,
Oh,
game
I didn't
changer.
even think about that. And the tops are all burnt and crispy. Oh,
I do that in
love
the
it.
oven.
In the oven?
Because I make so much because it's like
Oh,
my whole
I do
family.
2 batches.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I do
a
2
good
batches
idea.
of like a 24-hour.
Maybe I'm impatient,
Maybe.
but it's really good.
Yeah, it is really good. And then regular frying, is that like, I absolutely hate
Like with
it.
oil, and it gets everywhere, and your kitchen stinks,
Absolutely
and
hate
then
it.
you have to clean up your whole stove.
Bacon, I do in the oven.
Yeah.
Chicken parm, fried wings, I just don't do. They go in the
No.
oven.
Chicken parm comes out pretty okay. Not as good if you fry it, but it comes out okay in the air fryer.
I don't do it. I hate frying more than anything in the world.
Yeah, and I don't want to buy one of those things where you have to like, the fryer-laters, like the mini ones,
fryer-later,
because
yeah.
that just seems like it's so much to clean
Way
it
too-
up
oh
and
my
all the waste
God,
of that
screw
oil.
And I will always be the one to clean it for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It would sit there like growing things before anyone in my house looked at it besides me.
That was a really good icebreaker.
Yes, it was.
When you first said it, I was like, oh crap, what on earth are we going to say about that? But we really came together with that one.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got to tell me today? Or what story?
First, can we talk about last week we did Robert the Doll and how freaking
I don't
creepy.
want to talk about this.
As soon as we were like done, everything just like shut off on the computers, and it looked like everything just shut down.
And we were like,
the lights in your house were flickering,
and we're just looking at each other like,
and literal smoke came up because Lee lives on the second floor.
Oh my God, I forgot about
so all this smoke came up. It was that people were working in the first floor, so there was like an explanation for it, but it was just creepy, like the occurrences right in a row. It was like boom, boom, boom. We were down there, yeah.
We were both like, sitting there like, I'm sorry, Robert. I'm so sorry. That sucked.
We were rethinking our choices.
Yeah, that was a one.
That was one. He's so creepy. You got to look him up, though. See a picture of him. But ask him first.
And we weren't joking. Sorry, Robert. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Robert.
Go.
You're perfect. All right. So, you keep getting mad because I stray a little bit from paranormal. I know this.
It's fine now. I've opened my mind to more.
So, this is a true crime / paranormal. So, it's a true crime that builds into a paranormal.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So, this is the case of the Villisca Axe Murders. And because I'm not really good at citing yet, Bizarre True Crime Volume 4, Bailey Sarian on YouTube, Road Trippers, the Ghost Adventures episode, and Sam and Colby on YouTube. I watched that at 3 a.m. last night. That scared the crap out of me.
If you don't
Notes from the Frontier. And if you look up the murder house, the website itself, which does the tours, I got some information from there.
All you
I'm sorry?
have to do is copy and paste the link.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. APA style? Okay. So, like I said, the story incorporates true crime and paranormal. As in the title, I always say this wrong. Villisca? Is it Villisca or Velasca? Villisca. Villisca is where it takes place, which is a quaint town in Iowa. And just telling you up front, the story's unsolved. So, yeah, because I hate when I hear a whole story and then I find out, oh, it's unsolved at the end. That drives me insane. But you might have a really good theory.
Okay.
People kind of feel really strongly in either way.
Okay.
So the story starts in the early 20th century in, surprise, Villisca, which was described as booming economically. It had dozens of trains stopping in town daily. And this was weird because this was like a really rural, like farm area. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yep.
It was just an overall seemingly safe place to raise a family.
In the middle of bumfuck.
Yes. And the town had about 2,500 people. In 1912, this town built the only publicly funded armory at the time, which housed people from World War I, II, Vietnam, and Korean War. And it was used as a training facility just to show like how up and coming it was. So on June 10th, 1912, all that changed as a family of 2 adults and 6 children were found viciously murdered with an axe.
Oh, I hate hearing about little kids.
I know.
It's so sad.
I know.
Why do you do this?
And the axe gives me like Lizzie Borden vibes. So still over 100 years later, the case is unsolved. So the family consisted of, the father was Josiah Moore. He was a prominent businessman. The mother was Sarah Montgomery. Both were friendly, really involved in the church, well known and liked throughout the town.
Are you about to give me the ages of the children?
In a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so they had 4 children together. Herman, 11. Herman, the name. Catherine, 10. Boyd, 7. And Paul, who was 5.
Why?
It was a close-knit family, just a cute family living in a traditional all-American 4-bedroom, 1-bathroom home. And one day this family went to church, and it was common for families not to lock the door when they were leaving, or at all. It was just that neighborhood. That's where I grew up, too. We never really locked our doors. So now you may have noticed, or since you usually tune me out, I said 6 children.
Yeah, I did, but I was scared to ask. I was like, crap. Maybe she said 6 family members.
So the other 2 children involved were 12-year-old Lena and 8-year-old Ina. Lena and Ina Stillinger. The families were like family friends that lived right down the street. So the Stillinger girls, what?
It's just somebody else's kids were
I
there
know.
too. Wow.
So this was on a Sunday, and all the families were going to church. They were doing this big end of year event where all the kids performed. So Catherine, the mother, said, if you want, the girls can spend the night. So a call was placed to the Stillinger girls' parents, but the older sister Lena answered, and she said she would pass along the message to her parents because they were outside. So everyone went to church. The festivities ended about 9:30 p.m. They went home, and the next morning at about 5 or 6 a.m., Mary Peckham, a neighbor, was out just like tending to her usual stuff and didn't notice the Moore family up and running. And she was like, that's weird. And then by 7, nothing. So by 8, she was like, okay, this is crazy. Like, no one's letting the cows out. The chickens are still in.
Oh, they're normally up at like 5.
Yeah. It was like a farm place. So everyone's like up and running, like, feeding. So she was getting concerned. And she knocked on the Moore's front door and there was no answer. So she was like, all right, this is weird. So she called Josiah's brother, Ross. He had a set of keys because it wasn't really used much. So usually you'd have like one family member have a set of keys. That sounded weird when I just said that.
Crazy.
So Josiah went in with the set of keys he had and found 2 bodies covered with sheets. And there was blood all over the bed frame. Josiah and Sarah were deceased on their bed, brutally murdered. And it was described as the skulls crushed in.
Oh.
Ross ran outside and had Mary call Henry Hank Horton, who was the primary peace officer, which is like basically the police. When Hank arrived, Herman, Catherine, Boyd, and Paul were found deceased, and it seems the children were sleeping when it happened. The other 2 children were found downstairs in the guest bedroom. So it goes like when you walk in the house, there's like a living room, and then there's 2 rooms off of that, and then there's a narrow set of stairs. It's just like we went to the Lizzie Borden house.
Yeah.
If you remember that really narrow set of stairs,
Mm-hmm.
same thing, really creaky, and you go up, And there's 2 bedrooms up there,
Okay.
and they're like right next to each other. Same thing as like a really small house. That's just how they were built.
Okay.
So when this was found, the whole town quickly found out and flocked over there, trampled the crime scene. It was set up to 100 people were throughout the house. Some people were holding the axe, being like, oh, look.
Why?
I have no idea. So
Oh, no.
So the doctor narrowed the time of occurrence down between 12 midnight and 5 a.m. and concluded the murder weapon was Josiah's own axe that was found in the room where the Stillinger girls, Lena and Ina, the guests, were sleeping in the downstairs guest room. And on the ground in there was bacon wrapped in cloth, and a lantern was found by the foot of the girl's bed. There was also a lantern found by Josiah's bed.
What the heck?
During the investigation, 2 cigarette butts were found in the attic. Is what it said in one source, but one source said there was no cigarette butts, so I don't know. Like I said, the kerosene lamp was found by the parents' bedroom, which according to theory of how the killer got in, maybe he used it to guide like around the house while everyone was sleeping. But it's such a small house, like any little creak would make such a noise. But some people think he might have climbed up into the attic while they were at church. Like there's an attic like off of one of the bedrooms. It's almost like a little tiny room, like it's a little tiny room that goes up to stairs in an attic.
Right. Okay.
So like now it would be used as like a spare bedroom almost, but the chimney is like right in there too. So you could technically climb down the chimney to get in there.
So creepy. Have you ever seen the movie?
I'm describing it weird, but you know what I mean.
I think it's like You Can't See Me or something like that where the people are frogging.
Frogging?
It's like this thing, frogging, where they're staying, like people secretly live in someone's house until they notice.
Yes.
Did you see the movie?
Yes, I did.
That's what that reminds me of. Oh, that was so creepy.
That was horrible.
I mean, oh, okay.
It like flooded back to me as you were describing it. My kids had me watch that. Yuck. So, and it looked like as the killer waited up there, he's had the 2 cigarette butts. It appeared that Josiah was the first to be killed, and I've seen this 2 different ways. In some articles, it says that Josiah was the only one that got hit with the axe blade. And other articles say that the wife was the only one that got hit with the axe blade. And everybody else was killed with like the butt of the axe.
What?
So it was described in one article that it was Josiah's face was beaten in so brutally that his eyes were gone. Oh my God. So, okay, so after Josiah and Sarah were attacked, the killer went into the Moore children's room and used the butt end of the axe on all of their skulls.
Oh my God.
And in the room, even to this day, you can see like markings all over the ceiling. And the way that the caretaker described it, the man was left-handed when he was swinging. And you can see like the back of, because remember, he's using the butt of the axe, so the blade's hitting everywhere. And the weirdest thing is in the middle of the room, it's like he was swinging it around. Like if you remember that helicopter song, like swinging it around in a circle, which was so odd.
Why was he using that part of the axe?
I don't know. I was thinking about that too. I don't know if it's like blood splatter thing, or if it was like maybe if I go too far, it will get stuck. That's the only reason I could think of. You know what I mean?
Like you wanted to brutally beat even worse than it could have. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's gross. So after he killed all the Moore children, he went back into the parents' room. And the reason they think that is because there was a shoe in there that the blood must have filled up from the parents, and then it was tipped over. So that's like super overkill if they're already dead.
Yeah.
So I read some speculation that the killer was not aware of the 2 overnight guests. And Ina was killed in her sleep. She was the younger one who was 9. And Lena had a cut on her knee and arm, possibly defensive wounds on her body, which would suggest she surprised the killer or woke up. She may have been the only one to see the killer. And so the Stillinger girls, if you remember, were downstairs in the bedroom. The youngest seems to have been murdered as she slept, while Lena, who was 12, was positioned as Dr. F.S. Williams testified, laid as though she had kicked 1 foot out of her bed sideways, and she had one hand under her pillow on her right side, half sideways. And apparently she had been struck in the head and squirmed down in the bed perhaps 1/3 of the way. I don't know if you can picture that at all, but she was just like kind of squirming down. And there was a blood stain on the inside of her right thigh and what appeared to be defensive wounds on her arms. Trigger warning, the horrible thing is said that her nightgown was pulled up and she had no undergarments on.
Aww.
There was a 2-pound slab of bacon wrapped in dishcloth found on the floor next to the axe, which I've heard speculated it was used to pleasure himself because semen was found at the scene.
What?
The doctor said there was no penetration.
So he just like jerked off with
into
bacon?
the bacon inside of a dishcloth.
What in the world?
And I hope the doctors tested enough because I know they didn't have the same testing, but
Oh.
So on the house's website, I don't know how I'm segueing out of that because that was like yucky. I'm sorry about that. So I read on the house's website that a local druggist, I don't know what a druggist is, suggested photographing the scene, and he was kicked out of the house immediately. Like, no, we can't photograph this.
Wait, what year was this?
It was 1912, I think.
Oh, okay.
But everyone else was like,
photograph
yeah,
this.
everyone was in like touching everything, and this one guy like who had like a great idea. Let's photograph the crime scene. Everyone's like, no, get out. So, like I was saying that there were axe marks all over the wall.
Damn, so the police are going room to room, just like, oh, excuse me, all spectators move aside.
Well, they eventually, a few hours later, kicked the hundreds of people out and secured the scene.
Oh,
it just took a few hours, and everyone
Well,
else already did everything. So after the murders occurred, this killer stayed in the house and covered all the windows either by curtains or clothing. He had like all the drawers open in the house. So all the mirrors and windows were covered. All the victims' faces were covered with sheets. And there was a pot of bloody water and remnants of the killer having made a plate of uneaten food on the table after the murders. The doors remained locked from the inside, and no broken windows, no sign of forced entry at all. And the killer maybe left during all that commotion. Maybe he stayed for a while. Maybe he was hiding while everyone was in there. There are a lot of theories.
I don't understand. Like, what was he do? Was he role playing after and pretending he was part of the family? Like, what were you doing?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I really wish they found who did it.
But that was the thing. Now I'm going to go into some of the theories. There's a lot, but I'm just going to name a few. And you can tell me what you think. So, remember this happened between midnight and 5 a.m., right?
Mm-hmm.
And the neighbor called the brother at 8.
Right.
Okay. So at 5:19 a.m., the day of the murders, Reverend Lynn Kelly left westbound on a train and told all the other passengers, well, not all of them, told some passengers on the train about 8 butchered souls that were killed while they were sleeping. This was before the info was released to the public. He came into town the night before the church event and attended the kids' performance and left right after the murders. So 2 weeks later, he came back, I'm sorry, and actually dressed up like a detective and pretended to be one at the Moore's house.
What? And this wasn't suspicious to anyone?
Like, hey, it's me, detective. Okay, come on in. So authorities started looking into Kelly once they saw some of his advertisements he posted online. He was looking for stenographers or secretaries. So
that's what caused them to look into him?
Let me just tell you. The secretaries, they had to be young and work in the nude. So,
and he was a reverend?
Kelly traveled as a visiting minister. People used to comment how odd it was that he would walk around at night, and he had a reputation, nothing proven, but people claimed he was a peeping Tom.
Oh, it was the reverend. I don't need to hear any other theory.
He had paranoid schizophrenia, which he was diagnosed, I think, when he was like 18-ish, and then later on he was hospitalized in his life. And when he was tried for the murders, he was tried for the murder of Lena only, the 12-year-old. And he was tried on August 31st. What? He signed a confession that God whispered to him and said that he was to slay and eat.
So he killed everyone.
But wait. So the jury were deadlocked on the 1st. And then the trial went through again, and he was acquitted. So then another suspect is Frank F. Jones. He was a prominent businessman and politician. Frank Jones, he owned Jones' store. Josiah worked for him. And then Josiah, out of nowhere, quit and opened his own store. I couldn't tell what he sold, but Josiah opened a store selling the same stuff as Frank. There was also a widely spread rumor that Josiah Moore was having an affair with Frank's daughter-in-law, Donna Jones, which switchboard operators were rumored to have overheard. Because back then, you'd have to pick up and be like, call extension, blah, blah, blah. And someone's always listening in. But they don't think that Frank Jones himself killed him. They think he hired somebody. So there was a man named William Mansfield. Listen to how he's described. A cocaine-loving serial killer.
Okay.
So in each of the Mansfield killings, the mirrors were covered with sheets.
So he just gets really high and then out of nowhere, fuck with me and you fuck with the devil. Like, that's what I think of when you say it.
Yeah, that is like the craziest description. A cocaine-loving serial killer. Put that on a business card. So, like I said, at all the Mansfield killings, he covered all the mirrors and all the windows. And he'd cover the people with sheets. And another thing that was odd about him was he wore gloves, which nowadays wouldn't seem that weird, but this was the early 1900s. Fingerprinting just came about in like 1890 something. I'm probably way off, but it's like the end of the 1800s.
Maybe
the very
he just
end.
didn't like to get his hands dirty.
Maybe. But he was in military prison before, so he knew that they had his prints. So Mansfield was no longer looked at as suspect only because he was given an alibi by his employer. So a man named Henry Moore was looked at months after the Villisca murders because he was convicted of killing his mother and grandmother with an axe the same way, using the blunt end, and he covered the mirror with clothing and covered the victims' faces.
So there were a few people out there that like to kill and hide.
Yeah.
Okay.
So besides M.O., nothing tied him. And a side note, the Stillingers' father went to go see Henry Moore. Again, I didn't say this, but Henry Moore isn't related to the Moores. This was just another suspect.
Okay.
Same last name, but no relation. The Stillinger girl's father went to go see him while in prison, and he didn't believe he did it. He was like, sure, he had nothing to do with it. Another big suspect besides the Reverend, because to me, it's like kind of between the Reverend and this guy.
Yeah. Okay.
I have no experience, no basis besides just reading this, and that's just what I think. So another big suspect is Paul Mueller. He was a German immigrant who was described as very powerful and socially awkward. He was hired by a family, Frank Newton, his wife Sarah, and Elsie, their 11-year-old adopted daughter, and this was a farm near West Brookfield, Massachusetts. He was sought after an 1897 murder of the whole family. The bloodhounds followed the scent to a railroad not too far from the farm and then lost the scent. Bill James and Rachel McCarthy James wrote a book titled The Man from the Train, where they went through old newspapers, followed a timeline, and theorized that Mueller was the culprit on the spree of 14 separate incidents, with him targeting families near train tracks. In their book, they discuss how Mueller's attacked while victims slept and used the end of an axe. He covered the victims and the windows, and he locked the door before he left from the inside, and sometimes assaulted young girls. This was all before serial killers were really known as like a title to the police or authorities. I'm not going to list the possible 108 murders that he's responsible for or theorized to be responsible for, but I would highly suggest getting that book. And
you said the Reverend was telling people that there were 8
murdered souls.
So they only found 6.
No, 6 kids plus 2 parents.
Oh, okay.
But the other thing about the Reverend, I think I forgot to mention, he's left-handed.
Was this guy left-handed?
I don't know. I was trying to dig. I was doing this at like 3 a.m. I should have kept looking. Because if you look at the Sam and Colby episode, they kind of show how the blows works. The marks are still in the wall.
Uh-huh.
And the way that the blade went up, it would be really hard to do that if you were right-handed.
Okay.
Like you'd have to be standing against the wall and just like it's
Right.
really, really awkward. And this was another thing I heard, but I'll mention it really quick, but I don't think this is really of any importance. Josiah's sister also had a key, and the family had an extra bedroom made up with blankets and sheets. And some people harp on that the bed was made up and all these people were staying here, but nobody slept in that bedroom. But I just think it could just be kids. Like when you're having a sleepover, you kind of share a room. Like even when, you know what I mean? Kids just want to sleep in the same room.
Yeah.
So did the person stay hiding in the house or escape later on? They don't know to this day. But families lived there after the murder, but would turn over quickly and no one really stayed long term. This unsolved mystery turned into a dual ghost story. The house is now known as the murder house and is taken care of as if the Moores still lived there. The house has been on many ghost hunting shows. I've seen Ghost Adventures and the Sam and Colby one, which again, watch that. That is so creepy. Johnny, who is the what would you call someone, the housekeeper? But Johnny talked about how people would get scratched during day tours, which, because I have no problem doing like the day tours. Like we did the Lizzie Borden one together. That was fine. But the overnight ones are what I always think of, like, that's spooky. But this is
nightlife comes
during the day tours. He talks about all the stuff that happens. The house is never advertised, but it's booked like a year out.
Oh, damn.
The scariest thing I see about this house is people always report seeing things in other houses. This house is known more for like touch. It can be as little as like a pinch of your clothes, like a little kid trying to get your attention, or being fully scratched across your back.
Oh, damn. Like a gash?
Yeah. They have pictures on the wall of people during day tours getting scratched. He talks about footsteps, doors opening and closing, chairs rocking, people feeling weird. It's just like an energy attaching to you, and your mood will change. And sometimes he says, like, I have to go stand outside for a few hours because I see myself going crazy. And he even told this one story about how he had, like, I want to say it was like 7 guests with him, and one person was in the bathroom, and the bathroom was running. Mm-hmm. And he went and knocked and was like, are you almost ready? Like, we want to get this tour started. And the person in the bathroom was like, yeah, I'll be a minute. And then they're waiting. They're like, are you okay? And nobody answered. They opened the door. No one was in there.
What?
And there's like all these. Yeah, it's such an active house.
What? I want to go there.
I'm scared of this one.
I want to do it.
But that's the thing. Usually I'm fine with the day tours. This one, we might have to have some wine before we go to
my God.
So
yeah, because honestly, I was nervous about Lizzie Borden, but I was kind of upset that nothing happened. I really thought if I started playing with the toys, a kid was going to come play with me.
Oh, this house with the balls and stuff. Oh my gosh.
I think we should go.
So I'd do it, but I'd be scared. I'd be hiding behind you. So many report disembodied footsteps, feeling of doom, hearing people talking that aren't there, and seeing some shadow figures. They've even caught some on camera. Oh. So on 2014, a man staying, he was an overnight guest doing like paranormal hunting. And he was just like staring at one of the closets in the rooms that's supposed to be like the most haunted. And out of nowhere, he just stabbed himself in the neck. He said he saw an orb coming at him. And the house almost like compels people, like a mental manipulation.
What?
Yeah.
To kill themselves?
That's so creepy. So,
oh my gosh.
I know. And people leave there like still connected. On Ghost Adventures, 2 former residents, Linda and Patty, who lived there when they were younger with their parents, were brought back to the house. And Patty tells of how in the middle of the night she would hear a little girl crying. And the girls was telling a story about how their father, who liked to sharpen his knives on a stone, one day he was doing it and an unseen force just like turned the knife to the father, trying to get him to stab himself. And the girls, just being there as adults, were like visibly shaken, and one of them had to like go outside and calm down. And Linda claims the house still tries to call her back there.
No.
And on Ghost Adventures, the crew actually went to the museum and brought back the actual presumed murder weapon, an axe. That was such a weird scene. The guy, the fact that they had like, I can't even talk. I'm so excited about this. So you know what EVPs are? The things that like,
yes.
So there were multiple EVPs that were caught. One when Zach brought the axe up to the attic and he said, was this the weapon you used when you murdered 8 people? And you hear this creepy laugh. Like really, really creepy.
No.
Zach told the spirit that he should leave these people alone. And the EVP was caught saying, we're going to keep them in the dark. Like so crystal clear. The other investigator on the show laid in the children's bed and asked, which church did you guys go to? And the EVP caught it saying it was a gathering place. And if you watch the Sam and Colby one, they have so many more creepier EVPs.
That's so sad though. So like the killer is actually what like his soul went to the house with this family to terrorize them even in their death. Like,
yeah, there's so many like possibilities with that, because they say some people, what is it, residual energy, when you're like, not residual, is that the one when you follow the same path over and over? Like if you did the murder, you would forever do that.
Yes. Okay.
And some people say that like on the Sam and Colby. I'll keep talking about that show over and over again because that episode was so good. And they just showed like how the path that the killer would have taken. And on their episode, I don't know if I should spoil it or not, they got an answer on who it was of what on the EVP. Oh, not the EVP. It was the
spoiler. I love spoilers. Spoiler alert. Block your ears or listen loud. Go.
Well, on there, it literally said, I'm the Reverend. And it's creepy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
It was, they were both really, really good episodes. And on the Ghost Adventures, there was a black mist that was caught, like just walking down. Like, ouch, was that a ghost?
Crap.
It was just so creepy. On Road Trippers, if you look it up, you'll see a whole what do you call those things? Cork boards? Where you like put pictures on? Cork?
Yeah.
Is that what you call
I
it?
have no idea. Keep going.
Okay. But they have pictures all over it. It's up between the barn and the house, and it's just all things that happen to people. Scratches across their back, on their leg.
I'll give you $100 if we go there. And if something happens to you, you have to say, ouch, was that a ghost?
So the tours open, the house is open for tours or overnight stays. Eek.
Absolutely not. That was such a good story. Oh my gosh.
Isn't it creepy? That's one of, oh, sorry, kicking you.
At a point, I thought you were lying. Like, I was like, all right, so clearly this is not a paranormal.
No, it really is. It's
But-
like one of the scariest, but you have to like kind of know the backstory to like appreciate what it is. But if you watch that Sam and Colby one, which you have to,
I'm going to.
I'm a
This
fan
is,
of them
like,
now. I've never seen anything of theirs
this is
before,
so
but now
sad.
it is.
But it's such a good story.
It really, really is.
Wow. Oh, I feel so. I hate hearing about
Me too.
kids.
Poor little babies, right?
You really won't go to the house?
I'll go. Not overnight though.
No, not overnight. I'm way
I'm
too
not staying
scared.
overnight.
No, I'm way too chicken shit for that.
But I can't believe it touches you. Like on some of the shows like that I watched on multiple, people are like, oh, something just touched me. Oh, something just touched me.
my
Oh, something
gosh.
just
But
grabbed
what
my
do
clothes.
you mean? Like when people leave, they still feel drawn to the house?
That's what the little
Visitors?
girls, but they live there.
Oh, the girls. Okay,
But
okay, that makes sense.
the guy that I said, Johnny, that takes care of the house, he talks about how he's like upstairs sometimes and he just has this like overwhelming urge to like just like bad thoughts coming in his head. And he's like, I have to go outside for a few hours, then I
Yeah.
feel better. And he tells all these stories about how like he'll be upstairs cleaning, doing something with the bed. And he'll hear someone walk up the front door and walk around the house, and the floors are like really creaky. And he tells this one story of how he hides in the closet, being like, "Oh, okay, you little punks, you're trying to come in here for free for a tour." And he jumps out to scare him, and no one's there. And like all these different instances, he's like, "I was a skeptic before." Caretaker.
That's
Yeah,
what
there
it
you go.
is. Okay, it's a caretaker.
Not a housekeeper. I couldn't think of the word.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that's the creepy story, and they call it the murder house now. If you want to look into it.
The Murder House. All right, so I'm gonna watch that show. I hope you guys do too, and we'll let you know if we end up booking a tour.
Ah,
And if you guys want to go with us, let us know because we really don't want to go alone.
I'm scared.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Thanks so much for listening.
If you have a story you'd like us to share, email us at ouchwasthataghost@yahoo.com.
Don't forget to follow our Facebook page, Ouch, Was That a Ghost?